So I've never really got that chance to tell you guys about the time I went to LA, Los Angeles, and it was actually Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, California, Los Angeles. So, and this was on my way to the trip to my whole week of the Dr. Phil show.
And tell me about that person you become.
So let's start off from the beginning. So when we got approved finally for the Dr. Phil show, it took, like I said, it was on my 9th attempt of getting on the show. I finally got approved. We had a good enough story to that the producers at the Dr. Phil show in Paramount Studios liked the story. They're like, look, we need to tweak some things, this and that. We can work with the story. We're going to fly you out. Next day, they flew us out. When I arrived in LA, we had the Kardashians' old driver, the old black guy that used to drive for Chloe and the mom. Because when we got there, we arrived, we were able to get into the Escalade. It was a tinted out black Escalade. It was tight. And, you know, we arrived in this big city that I've never been to, LA, which is the city of angels, the city of dreams. When I arrived in LA, God, the weather was almost 90 degrees. Oh, everything was so perfect. And they put us in a 5-star hotel called the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. And this is the old hotel where Marilyn Monroe stayed, Elvis, everybody in Hollywood. So when we got to LA, you know, it was just really overwhelming. There was so much stuff. We were right on the boulevard. It was like a dream come true. However, we spent the next 3 days or 4 days filming and rehearsing for the Dr. Phil show. So we had to do separate days filming. We had to do this, that. Finally, on the last day, I got my Crimson X parts. You know, at the time, they could not use any of my music due to copyrights. They couldn't get the right owners, and they didn't want to be sued, so they made me spit that a cappella, which wasn't the best, but it was either that or nothing, you know.
I'm the white suit, and I'm rolling with the twister. Step my damn mind, leave a ransom for your sister. As I hit the mic and I throw it on the asphalt. Body starts to twitch, and I'm fiending from the basalt.
What was that?
So when we got to LA, you know, we walked the boulevard at night. We walked the boulevard. We still had daylight, so we were able to walk the boulevard and do things. LA is something I have never seen before. Like, you don't even need permits to perform on the boulevard. You could just go there, set up some speakers, and perform and have a concert and make money. Like, it is the hustle capital of the world. Like LA and California, let me just tell you this. When I left and came back to Michigan, it was like the whole world changed. It was like everything was behind us by like 20 years. Everything is so much more advanced out there. And the shitty thing is that none of the Dr. Phil staff can give you their information because they can get fired for that. However, my makeup artist was the one that filmed that old movie, Blood In, Blood Out. She's the one that directed it, did all the makeup artists for that. And she also worked with multiple Denzel Washington films, especially Training Day.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Which we were able to see the filming locations for Training Day. So she said Dr. Phil people, the producers that were filming me on the Dr. Phil show, and the lady told me I'm a natural at this. She goes, you would be great at acting. You know, and I just felt so comfortable doing it in front of the camera but it sucks because she has connections in LA and she was unable to give them to me due to the Privacy Act of the Dr. Phil show. However, my trip to LA was just so fortunate. It was awesome. After the third day of filming straight, we actually had a break day, which we could do anything we wanted. So on that break day, we headed down Sunset Boulevard, which was about a half a mile from Hollywood Boulevard. So we hit the Sunset, and on the Sunset Boulevard, we actually took it down about a good mile to Genesee Avenue, which is about up on the hill off Sunset. You're headed west on Sunset Boulevard, so you'll get up and then you'll head south on Genesee Avenue, which is about 4 or 5 houses down, was the original Nightmare on Elm Street home, which I was able to perform a video in front of that I have not released yet because it's not really the best, but I'll roll a clip of that. I was also able to do filmings and everything at the Freddy Kruger house, which was awesome to see in person. It was, like I said, it was something that I've never seen, and I probably, unless you have the funds and the resources to actually live out there and make it, I mean, it's just the place of dreams, and it really is. Every night I walked at Hollywood Boulevard, and everything was just like lit up. It was like a 24-hour fucking party that never ended out there, but it was all good vibes, LA, if you've never been to Los Angeles, it's definitely some place to check out. It was definitely a dream coming true to come out to Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, and actually see something that I've never seen before. And we can roll some of my clips from the Dr. Phil show.
Well, you're going to find this interesting, I think. Melissa says her husband, Nick, was a loving man with a 9-to-5 job when they first met.
So the funny thing about the Dr. Phil show is I worked with producers for almost a week straight, 5 days. And we could not meet Dr. Phil until the day of the show, right when it came time to actually meet him on stage. So they brought me up like 3 floors. By the time the Dr. Phil show aired, it's funny because in the beginning of the Dr. Phil show, they play like that Beyonce, all the pretty ladies, so they get the crowd hyped up. They throw a bunch of free merchandise out. So then they get the crowd woke up for the time when Dr. Phil starts his show.
But shortly after they got married, he started painting his face with scary makeup, dressing like a demonic clown, and composing vile music about killing people.
So that's a part that they never show. Now, Dr. Phil started his show, and it was just so real, because I was sitting behind stage. Melissa's on one side, I'm on this side of the stage, and we got a big we have a big TV in front of us, and we're able to watch Dr. Phil and the audience talk about ourselves. And
now, Melissa says Nick now goes by the name Crimson and believes that he is going to become a famous murder rapper.
I'm the white.
Like, I'm sitting there, and in my head, I'm thinking, is this real? Am I ready to go on national TV right now? Is this really happening? Like, so, it was crazy. Dr. Phil pulls up my stuff. Yeah, he refuses to work. He's wants to be a murder rapper, this and that. So I'm sitting there watching it. My eyes are tearing up because it's something that I've never done. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to go on national TV, and it was definitely an experience that you just have to be there to see. However, the filming went great. The only thing I hated, if you notice on the show a lot, I talk really slow and I think about the words I'm saying because you have to talk in proper English to be on the Dr. Phil show. I do make music, but at the same time, I have fun doing it. And I almost got denied so many times after I was there just because I wasn't using proper English. And they're really anal about that. However, the Catch Me Outside girl was talking reckless, so I don't know why they made a big deal about that.
Dude, they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me. And they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me. Dude, they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Because you're too streetwise?
Yup.
So yeah, my dreams of going on the Dr. Phil show, it definitely helped my career, and I'm going to tell you how. It didn't matter the story that I told Dr. Phil. They just wanted a good story, just like any reality show. However, it did kind of make me look like a fucking piece of shit. I mean, being a jobless guy that beats his wife and takes her money is not a good story. However, it's the only way I could get on national TV. However, that did put my name in front of over 20 million people worldwide. 56 countries and all of the United States know who Crimson X is. People have heard of my name. They know who I am. You know, and every day I still get people randomly from Dr. Phil, and I still get negative comments every day, and I'll still probably will for the next 10 years. However, that opened doors for me as a person. You know, it gave my name, it got people looking at my stuff. And if I show you my statistics from the Dr. Phil's era, like from the January after they aired it, they are ridiculously stupid. I may have been hated, but I had so much traffic and so much people on my page, it was just dumb. Now, the shitty thing that happened, like, shortly after, the real the Crimson Band are saying, hey, you're using the name Crimson, you're not allowed to. So they took all them views I had from the Dr. Phil show and all that shit I worked hard for, got all taken down, and I really had to start all over, which was shitty. Like I said, I mean, it is what it is. It's part of life. It was just a little bump in the road. It didn't break me. However, you know, it really sucked I had to go through that because there were some videos that had 90, almost 100K views, you know, and for an underground horror artist, that's really well. Now, the shitty thing came in, you know, there's, of course, a lot of artists that do horror rap and like the rap that I like doing, and of course you're gonna have a lot of envy, a lot of people hating you. They're mad that they didn't do the same move you did. They're mad at it, that it ain't them. You know, anyone could have done this. You gotta use your head. You gotta fucking, if you want to make it, you gotta step out of your comfort zone and do stuff that you're not used to. You know, and that's what I did. I didn't care the repercussions because where I was sitting didn't matter. I was so buried at the time by the Juggalo community that it did not hurt me to lie and go up on Dr. Phil's show. Now, it took me weeks and weeks and weeks and months of begging my wife to do the show, and she finally agreed to for me. However, when we got approved, they needed a second opinion, a second person, so we had to beg her mom to actually do the show with us, and eventually she agreed to. And you know, there's so many artists out there that just want fucking views, you know, and that's why you see so many diss tracks on me and this and that, because people were jealous. Pretty much, I can say that people were pretty much furious and jealous that I made a move, that I'm getting all this attention, that they wanted some attention too. So that's why you see diss tracks, you see people making videos, and it was crazy. There was like fucking 100 videos up of me throughout the entire thing of all different people telling their opinions, because you know, they wanted their YouTube channel to grow, and some did, some didn't. But hey, more power to you guys.